Paul. Yes. I was reading this John 18. Yes. And now there was this guy in verse 14 named Caiaphas. Was he which gave counsel to the Jews that it was expedient that one man should die for the people. And Simon Peter followed Jesus, and so did another disciple, and that disciple was known unto the high priest, and went in with Jesus into the palace of the high priest. But Peter stood at the door without, and then went out that other disciple, which was known unto the high priest, and spoke unto her that kept the door, and brought in Peter. Then saith the damsel that kept the door unto Peter, Art thou also one of this man's disciples? He saith, I am not. Oh. And then, and the servants and the officers stood there who had made a fire of coals, for it was cold, and they warmed themselves, and Peter stood with them and warmed himself. The high priest then asked Jesus of his disciples and of his doctrine. Verse 20, Jesus answered him, I spake openly to the world. I ever taught in the synagogue and in the temple whither the Jews always resort, and in secret have I said nothing. Oh, why askest thou me? Ask them which heard me what I have said unto them. Behold, they know what I said. Ouch. And when he had thus spoken, one of the officers which stood by struck Jesus with the palm of his hand, saying, Answerest thou the high priest so? This thought of Jesus doing things secretly. But he said, no. I spake openly to the world, and I ever taught in the synagogue and in the temple, whither the Jews always resort, and in secret have I said nothing. Pooch. I really haven't said anything in secret. When I was on Guam, we lived at the Tamuning Plaza. And I said, Jesus did everything openly. He didn't do anything in secret, top secret. The way, the top secret way that no one knows about. Now, it looks like somebody thought that Jesus had to die for the world. And you thought that I was going to have to be the sacrificial lamb of Clallam County. Now, I put it on YouTube, on Facebook. I friended the world so that they could all see that you issued court orders where there's forgeries, fraud, that you arrested me for crimes I didn't commit, and you wouldn't remove your court orders, Brent, Judge Rohrer. That you did not give me any due process, that you took my sons from me, and you thought, well, I've got to suffer because you can't. You're the judge. You just can't admit any wrongdoing. You won't admit that I didn't get notice of court hearings, that I didn't receive a dissolution of marriage. You won't admit that I was homeless for the last 7 years, but I had every legal right to be that. Homelessness is not a crime. Pooh. Now, you're going to rough me up today? You mean I don't respect your authority as a judge right now? You won't remove your court orders. My sons have been missing and abducted since July 2nd of 2011. Some corrupt cops made up a crime that I didn't commit in Sequim, Washington. You're going to have me admitted to a mental facility without any evidence because I wasn't in Brennan, Washington, and I didn't email any coworkers. You just won't admit any wrongdoing. You won't enforce my rights. You won't allow me to stay where I was staying. You won't arrest your own family because the family never goes to prison. There was some individuals back in Jesus' day that they thought, well, he's got to die. We got to put him away so nobody will listen to him. See, Jesus didn't do anything in secret. He made sure the whole world would know. I used kind of the same tactic. I've never been top secret. Oh, the way. I didn't ever say, well, there's some things we don't talk about. We always talk about everything. See, Jesus was really the example that When on Guam, I said, no, I don't do anything in secret. I'm not in the secret family of those that know. I don't have to put a lizard in my ass. I don't come to find out, and I'm not going to come around to your way of doing things. It won't happen. Jesus never did anything in secret. He was there in front of them all the time.